Hey going everybody, Steve here. Welcome back to Command Center Wargaming. Fantastic. So in today's video, what I'm going to do is actually going to go through and show you some advanced tools that I use for modeling. Alright, so you've all seen my hairdryer, okay, but I'm actually going to go through some tools that, beyond, Games Workshop's little thing, okay, that you can use for modeling and how to improve your workflows and things like that. So yeah, coming up in the video. Awesome. Alright everybody, cool. So the first thing, obviously, that you've probably seen me use, gas mask and glasses, okay. I'm not probably going to go through too much of these because I've gone through these a little bit before, but I just thought they were worth an honourable mention in this video because they are essential for painting. Alright. Now, the other thing I kind of like to use as well with a lot of my advanced modeling is this little hacksaw thing right here, okay? Now, this guy here, it's really good for cutting up terrain pieces. I actually use like actual bark and wood a lot of the time, so for some of my basing, because it helps to add a little bit of weight to the base. You can go through and add like magnets and that, or 50-cent coins, or whatever, 2 bobs or whatever on the bottom of your base, whatever it is, or a nickel, I don't know, whatever currency, whatever currency you're doing. You can do that, but it's just the way I do it. Also, sometimes, I like to go through and just add a little bit more on top. So good for cutting plastic too, sawing things off really neatly when you're doing conversions. You just go through, you got to cut that reaver in half. You can't always use your snipping tools, right? Because it will probably basically just go through and mess up the plastic, okay? So it comes in handy to cut through. It will cut through resin, but it's not probably the ideal tool that I would recommend to cut through resin. It also comes with some of these extra blades as well. So you've got like medium, fine, extra fine, all that kind of stuff there. Okay, you could get these down there at the hardware store. I think this cost me around about $30 at the time. Alright, it's different, there's different prices wherever you're from, I suppose. So, yeah. Now, that's that one. Now, the next thing I want to show you, which is really cool, is something that I use, which is this little workstation here. So, do you remember, those little sort of like arm things that like Games Workshop where they're selling, where you like clip your models on, kind of like that? Alright, so this is one of those, but it's made for men. Alright, so you've got a magnifying glass on the top here as well, which I don't use very often, to be honest, but it can, because it's not the clearest, but it has seen a lot of paint going through it as well. And if you're sort of painting eyes and something like that though, it can help a little bit. When it was brand new, it used to be a lot better, but obviously, like, with the spray booth and the airbrushes and stuff, all the sort of specs coming on, awesome channel by the way, onto this, it sort of gets a bit cloudy. My eyes are pretty good anyway, so I don't really use them too much, and yeah, so that's really cool. And I believe once upon a time there used to be a light for this as well, so over the back there's a battery compartment, okay, where you can open up the batteries. It probably still works, I just don't have it in there now. And you can actually stick in a battery set there. Right, it takes 2 AA batteries, and you can actually look through this, and then a light will come down onto your Mini, and you can do your work. And you can also use it for airbrushing and things like that to hold your Minis. I don't use it too often, these things, only when I'm doing like underneath, when I'm doing something like maybe above tabletop standard and I really want to get underneath something or something really difficult, I'll use this. So yeah, and these extend. I call this thing the magic arm, okay, and you can actually add like more arms to it and stuff like that. It's really cool. So yeah, once again, this is one of the tools that I use. You didn't see it before because it's been stashed away in the corner. I bring it out now and then, but it just so happens, as I've been doing painting and stuff like that, I haven't actually obviously recorded every single little bit of painting that I've done, so it depends on how it is. But it's something that I used to, I'm basically going to start using again now. a lot more than what I did before because I got a little bit more space now. So I've got like all the back there as well. So as you see, I started setting some stuff up. Got some paints here, paints in here, ready to go. This is kind of like my production queue now. All right, there's more in the production queue, but that's heading that way. So cool. And the reason why, just quickly, the reason why I didn't, like, I'm not going to go too much into that light, why I'm not going to demo that light, is because I actually have a better solution for it, which I'll show you at the end of the video, which will be fantastic. Okay, so it's really cool. Now the next tool I use, so I guess everybody's heard the meme or the saying in the community, drill your barrels. Okay, I don't know why. Apparently there's, you know, a trigger or something that's gone off about that. Maybe I've missed something, I don't know. I don't really care, but like I've just seen people joking around it, around Facebook and stuff like that, but that's fine. I actually do drill my barrels. Not all the time, but most of the time. Once again, when I'm really doing something up awesome, when I'm really putting like my time into something, I will go through and I'll definitely drill my barrels. And what I sort of use a lot of the time, if it's just if I'm just doing a hero, it's just really quick, I'll use Army Painter's little drills. So Army Painter have this little sort of hand operated drill which you twist around, and it has a little drill bit in it. Okay, and you can just use that. However, if I'm doing batches, I'll actually use this little electronic one. All right, so this little electronic, it's like basically like a little, it's essentially like a little tiny little electronic drill. Okay, now the only downfall of this guy is that you can't actually use it with batteries. It's got to be hardwired, plugged in. But on the upside is that it's basically $35. Okay, so it's super cheap, and you can get, this is a Duratech handheld drill and grinder, right? And you know, you get a whole bunch of stuff in this kit. All right, there's a fair few goodies in here. So I'm just going to go through and show you this on the camera. Hopefully stuff doesn't drop out everywhere, but yeah. So there are a lot of little parts in here. All right, and what you've basically got, you know, little sort of metal bristles. Now I use these for chipping as well. When I want to go around vehicles, chip things out with those. And you know, again, other bristles. They're steel, by the way. So imagine like little brushes, but steel. So you turn it on, you can go around things very lightly, just like tap it. It goes, yeah, and then like you tap it and it starts chipping the model. But you be careful. You do it too much, it's gonna like just shred the paint. But just tiniest little tap, you can do that. And then here you go. You have some sanding sort of apparatus where you can sand stuff down. It's basically sandpaper. You've got like grinding. I find these tools very, very, very handy for grinding down resin. All right, when your little clippers basically can't handle it. And then a few spares here. Then you got your drill bits. All right, now really, really good. These drill bits here are actually really fantastic. Not for like drilling out holes in like guns and that, but actually drilling in like things like on 30k Alpha Legion, you know, on one of my Leviathans, I'm planning to put extra studs in there. Now, as we know, the Leviathan, I'm not sure, they might have released another one, but to my knowledge, there's no Alpha Legion Leviathan, like specifically. You know, you got those sort of studs in the Horus Heresy armor, and I use things like this as kind of like a little ballista arrow, kind of. Probably can't see that on the camera, but it's essentially like a little arrow, and I use that to drill in holes for things as well. Also magnetizing, when I want to sort of magnetize stuff, which is another tutorial will be coming up on the channel. You know, and yeah, and then obviously your little drill bits for drilling your barrels. All right, cool. And like I said, once again, I don't know, like, you know, as I said, people seem to get triggered over that. I don't know why, but sorry if any offense. I got no idea what that's meant to mean in the meme community, but yeah, so I do drill my barrels. Okay, so fantastic. Epic. Okay, so yeah, that's that, and that's really awesome. And last but not least, I'm going to get to one of my favorite things, and this is why I don't use that other light. And because this is actually a light here, it's a head-mounted light, similar to that in which miners use, right, when they go down into the mines or whatever, they strap it to their head. Okay, and it takes 2 batteries up the back here. Okay, and what it does is it basically it lasts for about 5-6 hours, believe it or not. So it's really good, and you can get like a charger for it. It's costing me around about $50. You can go through and you can just grab one of those. Fits really nicely on the head, really comfortable. It's really lightweight. You get used to it after a while. If you find that it's basically annoying you, you know, just you can wear a hat or a beanie. I had my beanie here somewhere, I think. Yeah, so you can go through. You can wear a beanie over it, which is a really valid tactic. So you can chuck that on, and then put this on over the top. It's really durable too. Really hard, like hard plastic. You know, it's no joke light. You know, and so yeah. So if you're worried about, you know, if it's feeling weird on your head, like I can barely even feel that's on now. It just feels like I'm wearing a beanie. And so it's fantastic. And this is the charger for it here, right? So it takes these really weird batteries. PowerTech Plus, let's see, what does it say? It's a MH battery charger. Yeah, I don't know like what battery it is, but it's USB chargeable as well. I'll just try to take it out for you, okay? Just see if I can take it out, show you the batteries, because they are kind of weird. If anyone's an electrician or whatever, they might know what they are. So they basically look like that. So it's heavy duty, it's no joke, right? You know, so, and they last like a fair while, and the on button is on the back too. Okay, so fantastic. And it is bright, like it's really bright, like it's just amazing, you know, like you can use desk lamps as well, but the thing is that like I find desk lamps get in the way. You can knock them, you know. Sometimes they get very hot, you know, as well. Yeah, look, nothing wrong with them, but you know, it's just, I don't know, I just find this really cool. So what I'm going to do, just watch your eyes there, everybody, okay, because I'm going to turn this on. So maybe just close your eyes and then slowly open them. I don't know if this is going to like blind you on camera or not, but so I'm going to turn that on, and you can probably see like how bright that is. That's crazy bright. I probably don't want to be pointing that into the camera, because it's basically going to fry my sensor in the camera. But you can actually see like how bright that is. If I look over here, like at my Alpha Legion up the back there, you can actually see like how bright that stuff actually is. And you can also swivel it around too, right? So you can have it around, do stuff like that, which is really awesome. Okay, and yeah, and it's also got, that's the full power mode, and this is a 550 watt, by the way, so if anyone's interested. This is the half power mode, and then you've even got, no joke, you've got a full strobe, right? So just in case you want to start doing like the robot, you know, like Michael Jackson with your one glove, right? So there you go, okay, and your brush. Okay, and your brush. So it's good this is a wargaming channel, so everybody understands what I'm using all this stuff for, or it'd be pretty sus, wouldn't it? But anyway, so all good. Fantastic, everybody, yeah. So the other thing is, I mean, what's really cool about this light is that if you combine it with your ventilator, your respirator. By the way, with the respirator, you want to get a Nottish compliant respirator. Basically, good for paint, and you can actually replace these things after a while. So if I put that one on, and then I put my glasses on, and then I basically go through and put my light on as well, what ends up happening is I basically become a Tempestus Scion, which is really dope, right? Because, like, you know, the Scion, I've got my little, or maybe like an old Stormtrooper or something from the Imperial Guard. So yeah, it's a lot of kit, I know, but
you know, when you're going through and you're working with the hard stuff, you kind of need it, you know, because this is some no joke stuff. Anyone who's been following my channel might remember, like, about a month or two ago, I actually got ill from those Accolade 2 paints, lacquer-based paints, because I wasn't using a good respirator and stuff like that. So, like I was saying, everybody, you know, nobody wants to be breathing in any paint. So, you know, even me on the channel, like, always make sure you protect yourself. Gloves. That's the other thing. Actually, I can show you quickly. I have some here. So I use these surgical gloves. These are just down from the supermarket, and they're really cheap, like $5 a packet or something. You put them on. It's just surgical gloves. Like, you just toss it out. So if you have to go out, do something, stop what you're doing, just take it off, throw it in the bin. Who cares? Like, I'll go for about 10 of these per session. And something else that I use while it's sitting here a lot are these little eyedroppers. So there's a little Tamiya modeling eyedroppers, and what I use them for is basically sampling paint, getting mixtures and things like that. And yeah, it comes in handy when you're a mixer, when you do a lot of mixing. And you know, I encourage anyone, like, when you're sort of starting to season up a little bit, that you start mixing your own paints, having a look at it. And it's really cool. So I've started mixing my own pigments and stuff like that up as well. I haven't used that for my Alpha Legion because I've found better options. But one of the things I started doing was mixing some pigments with some metal mediums and stuff like that. Anyway, well, that's another story. Fantastic. Alright, everybody, look, if you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing to the channel. We post Warhammer videos, tabletop videos, hobby videos. Pretty much, at the moment, we're going at about maybe every second day again, every day nearly. But often. We post often. And yeah. Alright, yeah. Like, subscribe, share, comment. Let me know what you think, everybody. Let me know if there are any tools I haven't covered here, more advanced tools, more unique tools that people might not know about that you'd like to share with us and the Command Center Wargaming community. Alright, fantastic, everybody. I'll catch you in the next one.